are 17 mistakes you missed in Bluey. Disney's Bluey is a fan favorite for people all over the world. But did you know that Australia's favorite kid show has mistakes that most don't even notice? No? Then buckle up as we embark on this adventure as we point out the first mistake. With number 1, missing toys.
Man, these backpacks are so heavy!
In the episode Backpackers, we see Bandit and Chili looking back fondly at their early years before they had kids, which they spent traveling together. They go on to reenact these times, but instead of strapping on backpacks, they swap them with their daughters alongside Socks and Muffin. While they are on their porch, we can see that there are some toys near Bandit's legs and behind Chili's tail. However, in the next scene, we notice that the toys disappear as if put away by an invisible nanny.
You need to look in the guidebook for a hotel.
I need to look in the guidebook for a hotel.
For 2, Bandit's blue streak. We all know that the members of the Healer family have unique features on their body that distinguish them from one another. For Bandit, it's his dark blue spot that covers the whole of his head. Even so, in the episode Dance Mode, where Bingo tries to catch his parents' tails, as Bandit turns swift, you can see for a split moment that there is a blue strip in between his eyes that shouldn't be there. That marks the second animation error on the list of our 17 new mistakes that you probably missed while watching this beloved show.
Get ready, Bingo! This is gonna be fun!
Number 3. Purple spots disappear. The same predicament falls on Bluey in the episode Dirt. When Bandit hoses his daughters down with a stream of water, if you play the episode frame by frame, you can see the 2 blue spots on her head completely disappear. Be honest, did you notice this when watching this episode? Comment down below and let's see how many Sherlock Holmes are on our channel. Number 4. Bingo spots. In the aforementioned Backpackers episode, Bingo makes her debut in the list of animation errors. In the scene where Bandit goes to buy croissants, we notice something peculiar about Bingo's spots. While at the vendor, we see that there are 2 spots on Bingo, one on her head and another on her back. Nevertheless, as he goes to reach for money, we can see that for a brief moment, the 2 spots merge. However, when the camera pans out, the spots detach again.
He wants 300.
Ask him if he takes bananas.
Number 5. Bluey's spots. Furthermore, in the same scene, when Bandit grabs the banana, we see that Bluey's spots are further back and almost unnoticeable. And as soon as the scene cuts, they magically appear and are very visible for that matter. Number 6. Flipped smile. In the Blue Mountains episode, we also log in another almost unnoticeable mistake. In this episode, the Healer family embarks on a picnic, and at some point, Chili and the girls start a game where they use Bandit's legs and belly as mountains. They draw faces on their hands and set out mountain climbing. At the start, all the faces on their hands contain smiley faces. But when Bandit's fox character makes an entrance, Bluey's smiling character suddenly frowns. This is odd because nowhere do we see Bluey redrawing her face. Number 7. Chili's spot. To ensure that the Healer family is in this together, we track down an episode where Chili equally experiences Spot's mistakes. In the zoo episode, when Bingo breaks into Gorilla Bandit's cage, her mom is alarmed. In the next scene, as she attempts to come to her daughter's rescue, we can see briefly that as she approaches the fence, her face only has brown and beige spots, while the white spot has gone missing. Number 8. Bandit's belly. In the episode Takeaway, we also noticed a few missing details. For instance, as Bandit goes to check whether his order is ready, we observe that the fur around his belly is just like Bluey's, entirely blue. Yet, we all know that this fur is supposed to be yellow. Could it be that the animators were just as famished as Bandit and forgot to include this detail?
Okay, forget the spring rolls. Let's just get out of here.
Number 9. Chili's spot. Chili's design requires a keen eye, because unlike her fellow family members, she has more spots on her fur. The most noticeable spot is the white mark near her face. Nevertheless, from Season 3, it's not uncommon for that spot to go missing, such as in the episode Rain, where it's nowhere to be seen, or in the Unicorns episode, where she meets the Unicorns. As it's not clear whether this was a creative choice, we'll just slot it in as an animation mistake. Number 10. Vanished toys. In the first episode of Bluey's first season, Magic Xylophone, we spot a continuity error. When the pups freeze their dad, they fill his hands with toys. When they unfreeze him, he tosses the toys in the air and scatters them all over the backyard. A moment later, when Bandit freezes Bluey and carries her out to the yard, we see that the toys have gone completely missing.
Give me the xylophone. No, I want to freeze him. You've had all the freezing time.
Number 11. Bingo spots again? Still on the magic xylophone episode, as Bandit picks Bingo and pretends she's an instrument, we notice that the spots on her head and back briefly merge into one spot. However, we know better that this is just an animation error. Number 12. Bluey switching spots. In the same scene, as Bandit is playing Bingo as an instrument, Bluey gets to dancing. As she swings from side to side, we notice that the purple spots on her side keep switching from one single round spot to 2 round spots. Number 13. Takeaway server. Let's dash back to the takeaway episode, shall we? As the girl's father goes to check on his order, through the glass, we see that the person serving him has completely white fur on their head. However, when Bandit goes in a second time, we see that this character now has a gray spot on their head. This becomes apparent when she steps out of the restaurant to hand over the food to Bandit and the girls. This was almost an imperceptible detail on Bluey, but we saw it. Number 14. Bed. In the episode Keepy Uppy, we notice that we'll term as a logical error. When the show's protagonist rises up in the morning, we might be led to believe that everything is normal in her room. However, a keen look on her bed shows us that there's something missing. Her pillow. I doubt that she sleeps without a pillow. Probably just an omission by the animators. Number 15. Jasper's mom's arm. In the Pass the Parcel episode, we encountered the most bizarre mistake in this list. During Chucky's birthday party, Pat, who is Chucky's dad, recreates the Pass the Parcel game. However, the game ends up infuriating everyone except him and Jasper. This frustration gets to Jasper's mom that her arm ends up being near her elbow. This is hands down the creepiest error we've encountered so far. Number 16. Parent's portrait. In the hotel episode, we encounter a possible logical error. When Bluey is showing her clients the room he can choose from, we see that they pass through door number 1, and next to that door is the picture of their parents traveling. They then continue with the hotel tour, and get to door number 6, which was the bathroom or the smelly room. Next to the door, we encounter the same picture of the girl's parents. Either the Healer family framed the same picture twice, or it could just be a logical error. Number 17. Seesaw sliding. In the episode Seesaw, as Bluey and Bingo are playing, we can see that just like every other seesaw, every person has a handle to hold on to. However, when their dad joins to teach them a lesson, we see that Bluey slides until she bumps into her dad's back. Riddle me this then. How is this possible if there was a handle in her way?
Oh, Rodney, my darling, it's so smooth.
In spite of these animation errors, Bluey remains to be a fun show. If you're into animation content, then you'll want to subscribe to this YouTube channel and get served with more of such content. So, we'll see you in the next video.